But first, let's talk about what happened last night at the Columbus City Schools Board of Education meeting. They are sticking with Dr. Angela Chapman as the superintendent. And I found this a little surprising after the reviews she received.
Yeah, so this extends her contract out through 2029. Dr. Chapman's been superintendent at Columbus City Schools since the beginning of the 2023-24 school year. And so when we talk about that review that we talked about late last year, that was the review for her first year as superintendent for the 23-24 school year. We won't get the one for the 24-25 school year really until probably this fall.
They're facing a lot of struggles right now, the district. Budget shortfalls, millions of dollars. They're having to close buildings down.
Yeah.
The whole transportation situation with getting kids to school. So they're dealing with a lot.
Right. And one of the factors of this new contract agreement for Dr. Chapman is that she is staying on at the same salary that she came in at in 2023 at $265,000. And the board, kind of brought that up in their decision last night, that her willingness to keep the same salary, not take a pay raise or anything, is an indication that she believes that everybody is in this together. She is overseeing the largest school district in the state of Ohio that has had some significant money troubles in recent years.
She's dedicated.
It's a district with, I believe it's like a $2 billion annual budget. It's a huge budget, but we talk about the size of it. The student body of Columbus City Schools is the size of a small city. And it takes a lot of money to do that. 80% of that money goes to payroll.
Right. They have a lot new people they have to employ.
They do. So last night, the Columbus City Schools Board of Education talked about this. The new board president, Dr. Antoinette Miranda, had this to say about the decision to keep Dr. Chapman on.
Strong leadership matters, especially in times of both challenge and opportunity. And this renewal affirms our confidence in the direction of the work underway.
Now, Antoinette Miranda replaces Michael Cole as the president of the CCS board. That change happened at the end of the year. So, she's kind of in the same boat of coming in to a district that is working through a lot of these problems.
I think there's an energy as well. I think everyone is kind of working together. There's a lot of vigor behind all this to figure out the budget shortfalls, and which is a large number, $50 million.
It's a huge amount of money.
Yes.
But, Dr. Chapman, I assume that she thought that her contract would get renewed, but in the event that it wouldn't, she had this to say, that, she's very happy that, they elected to keep her on now through 3 more years, 2029.
I'm deeply honored and grateful for the Board of Education for the trust and confidence that you've placed in me to continue to serve and lead in CCS.
So let's go back to some of the cuts that she has had to oversee. The December
That's because
cuts,
of the budget shortfalls.
Right.
This is all a trickle-down effect.
Yeah.
We've really been able to see it play out in real time with this school district.
Right. And, some of that goes back to the state and how the state is now intending to fund schools. In this past year, the legislature kind of voted to go away from the Fair School Funding Plan that was put in really in 2021, but that Fair School Funding Plan actually dates all the way back to the 1990s when there was a lawsuit out of Perry County. One of the schools there, a student's family sued, that is, out of Perry County, saying basically the poorer rural schools are not funded in the same way that a more affluent district such as a Bexley or an Upper Arlington would be funded. And this Fair Schools Funding Plan was really a way to try and address those concerns, as basically ruled on by the court. So it increased funding for districts that had a higher poverty rate, a higher English as a second language student body, and also special needs students. So when that changed, a lot of districts saw some pretty big cuts, and it wasn't just districts the size of Columbus City Schools. I remember talking to the superintendent of the Cherokee Community School District, which is all the way down there by Huntington, West Virginia on the Ohio side. He was trying to figure out how to deal with these cuts. But going back to the big December cuts, when they figured out how to cut, this was February, that the board had to vote on $7 million in cuts. That cut 34 vacant admin positions. So these were unfilled, but they still did cut people who were actively employed. 19 admin positions. There were also that were just general admin positions, and 6 more that were family engagement coordinators, and 3 health supervisor admin positions. And Dr. Chapman talking about this, we've talked to her repeatedly over these changes over and over again about how are we picking to make these to make these layoffs as least impactful as possible among families. And this is what she had to say about how we're picking and how we're trying to be mindful about how we do these cuts in terms of personnel.
A majority of those admin positions were the furthest away from the classroom, meaning they were supervisors supervising other adults in central office.
So most of those, as we've read, they are admin positions.
She said they're difficult. That's difficult too. This is not easy.
No
this
one
has
wants
been a
to lay
really hard
anybody off.
process.
Right. And, they've already closed a number of schools, 8 or 9, and those are all slated for demolition to basically keep the budget afloat. And, those kids are now being shuffled into new schools and whatnot like that as they try to figure out how to do that.
I know. And I've talked to parents in the district. They're upset about all of that, the busing changes, and
right,
because
that
their
was
kid
another
to
big
get safe
change.
to school. Exactly. But all of this is an effort to tackle that $50 million budget shortfall, which is, again, a lot of money.
Yeah.
And it's not going to happen overnight. So this is kind of the processes that's still happening. And I think Dr. Angela Chapman, now staying as superintendent, she should be a good person to continue leading the district through this because she's, been with them kind of from the beginning of all of this.
And as we talk about that, the review that she got, or that
was from her
basically
first
review
year.
was from that first year, and there were some things that the board brought up that she didn't work really hand in hand with the board, and didn't always feel like she was in close communication. They did mention that last night that that has significantly improved really in that second year.
Yeah,
so
a lot of
see.
changes
It's a new
still,
board.
yeah.
New
New
not
board.
an entirely new board. There are still
New
a
board
few
president.
returners, but there are several new people on the board who are also having to learn the ropes of how to right the ship of an absolutely enormous school district.
Yeah.
So,
We'll keep following that. Obviously, spring and summer's around the corner for those kiddos. So they'll probably work through a lot this summer as well as we start the fall then soon. So